Hey, hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing? Well, first off, happy MLK Day. You guys have a day off, so I hope you guys are having a good day today. And want to thank everybody you know, who's a part of this community who has strived to make the world a better place, to bring great things like equality, and I'm very happy that we had a figurehead that helped contribute. But today, I decided I'm gonna be doing a couple of things. I don't know what game I'm gonna be streaming next. I might just finish Turok 2. I mean, not finish, but continue because I haven't finished it. Um, My voice is back. I went to a Tronicon and got this. This is a Cuphead coaster, which means that now Cuphead will be keeping my drinks. It's not very slippery, but whatever. So anyway, guys, today I'm gonna be just touching up on a couple of stories, sharing you a little bit of information about Anchor, and this is gonna be like the Fico's Gaming Mind portion of this. Uh, that's what I call these segments where we talk about news. And there's my boy Seto Kaiba. How's it going, man? How's it going? I'm glad. I hope you're doing okay. It's a day off for me, so I get to stream. I'm gonna stream a couple of hours, trying to decide which game to do next. So I'll be touching upon that in a bit. But what we're kind of sort of going by is a couple of things that been happening around. I'll be sharing a piece of news or article from a game journalist's website. Dude, I need to make a request for you. Can you figure out a way to do low qualities off the stream of Twitch? Can you figure out a way to low? Are you talking about watching me at a lower quality? Because if your internet is low, I know you've been telling me about your internet, and you've been telling me that it kind of sucks, and it looks like I'm lagging. But if you mean like watch me at a lower quality so that you could listen, there is a way. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, if that's what you meant. Okay, so here's what okay, so I'm gonna oh, okay, hold on. Let me go ahead and swap here. So here I am, and it's playing the stream right now. So basically, what you could do is you can, I believe, well, we're getting some exception stuff here. So I believe what you could do is go here to the settings, and then you can go to quality, and then I believe there it has both an auto and the source, which right now, wow, holy crap, this thing is. Let me stop the stream real quick. So basically here, and then you can change the quality here, and you can click on auto, and then what it does is Twitch has a way, and I think it kind of figures what kind of internet you have. By default, I think it sets it to the source of how I am recording. Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with that. I'm not an affiliate yet, but I have heard something about how it allows you to do the higher level streams. But in my experience in YouTube, when you have something online it's supposed to sort of like adjust it accordingly. I don't know if this works with stuff that gets already loaded on past broadcasts. I'm still learning this. So, but for now, that's basically what you could do to adjust. Check the settings gear and then just click and see the very top where it says quality, and then you hit on quality. You might have an option to lower the connection there. Now, what I would recommend to put it in auto, because in auto, I think it automatically like detects and determines what you are using, as like it looks at your internet and it goes, okay, you it's a little slow, so it kind of just adjusts it to the kind of connection. Now, I will research this a little bit more for you, Seto Kaiba, and if I find something online, I will whisper you. I'll send you a whisper with the link, and I'll show you if all I said was true or not. If it's not, then I'll find a solution for you and for everybody. Because right now I'm streaming at 720. I don't want to stream at 1080. I think it may be a bit too taxing. But if I lower it any more, the quality of the stream just kind of gets shredded. But I'm going to see if I could find some more information about being able to watch the stream at a lower quality. Of course, I mean I need to take a sip of water. The microphone gets in the way. I hope that in the future, when I get my arm, oh crap, when I get the arm and I could get the microphone to just kind of be here, I don't have to worry about this microphone getting in the way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about a couple of things. There is a new subreddit post that I posted on True Gaming that I'm going to be sharing. A couple of True Gaming posts, and I'll be sharing something from that's really interesting. Something that I discovered. There's an application called Anchor, and I'll show you guys that as well. It's pretty cool. So, but we begin by going to Kotaku, which is a site that I have had a hate relationship with because uh but mainly it's because I don't consider them to me as a games journalist website. A couple of years ago, they've proven to be very scummy. I don't know how they've been recently, but anyway, I found this on the gaming news, and apparently, there's this Humble Bundle charity that is not telling you that you're donating to Christian charities. As the article says, Humble Bundle is donating to Christian charities without telling donors. Now, I have to wholeheartedly agree. Uh, Obviously, if you do a little bit of research, you'll find out. But let's just go over the article. If you visit the Humble Bundle website today, you can find that the Humble Bundle. Oh, one second here. Let me lower. I think. All right, here we go. So it says here the Humble Bundle. If you visit the Humble Bundle's website today, you will find that the Humble Hope for Orphans bundle. Humble's business model is to offer a bundle of games for which punters can pay what they want and also choose to give a portion of that money to the charity. The bundle, which rather oddly is full of angry war shooters, only lists one charity as an option for buyers, and it's called Change 30. If you read the description of Change 30 on Humble's website, it's explained to be a charity that supports orphans in Russia, and that's about it. It says our mission is to inspire purpose in Russian orphans by providing them with the love, guidance, and resource that they need to lead fulfilling lives. Our hearts is for orphans of Russia to not only survive but thrive. Change 30 is a charity providing critical resources to orphans in need. The proceeds from this bundle will help provide care, life skills coaching, and housing and education resources to young people who have been left without support systems. Now, going to the Humble Bundle site, and this is where we are, and you'll scroll all the way down, and you'll see that, yes, there is only one charity, and there's a video, and it's about a minute and a half long. I saw it, and this is basically what they say about the Humble Bundle itself, the Humble itself too, and when you click on change 30, this is pretty much what you get. Uh, there's not a lot of information here. According to Kotaku, and this is the writer Laura Kate Dale, says that when you do a little digging into the charity, there is one little more to it. 1 second. Our mission of Change 30 is to inspire purpose in Russian orphans by providing them with the love, guidance, and critical resources that they need to lead fulfilling lives and develop a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so that's odd. Because if you go in the bundle, they don't mention anything like this. So Humble Bundle is in ties with a charity that's also a religious organization. So they're doing Change 30. Let's go to the Change 30 site. And mission is to inspire purpose. This is a project that at its heart it looks like it's to push Russian orphans, because when they're in an orphanage, they're there till 16 and then they're left without resources. They're kind of like in the wind. They're not there's nothing for them anymore. And apparently the common like it's the age expectancy of an orphan in Russia, you get up to 30 only. That's a really young lifespan. So if you're a Russian orphan, their odds are they're not good. So you go here, and then there's nothing much here, but then you click on the organization's click here, and then you see exactly what it says here. And it's right down here, but there is a little more information than that. Okay, so they say that they offer graduate support. Okay, so when an orphan leaves from the orphanage around 16, they are very unprepared for life in the real world. And then they said that our focus is to graduate support and changing the cycle. However, we have a portfolio of resources that we provide to graduates on a range of needs, such as securing safe housing, furthering their education, receiving job training and placement, and your donations enable Change 30 to provide orphan graduates with the resources, guidance, and moral support that they need to lead hope-filled, purposeful lives. And you see um, this guy here helping Sasha and Bartman here. Life skills and young mums programs. This is actually pretty sweet. It digs into like helping young mums who are kids and end up getting pregnant. Apparently, they offer they meet with them frequently to provide basic needs, life skills like budgeting, cooking, strategic life planning. That's all stuff everyone should know, and they're offering that to these kids. This is really cool. And underneath here, there is we have active participation throughout the orphanages in the region of Kaliningrad. Staff tutorials. It says like in addition, Change 30 staff offers tutoring, music, and art classes, fitness and wellness activities, age-appropriate life skills. That's really cool. However, this is where things get a little weird, because it says that there is involvement from religious organizations. It says that every year teams of volunteers from U.S. churches travel to Kaliningrad to help meet physical and spiritual needs and spread the love of Jesus Christ with Russian orphans and orphan staff through our global trips. Contact us about bringing a team of Russia to be a part of this amazing, life-changing experience. Now, according to the article, it asks a couple of questions. It makes the notion that either Humble Bundle didn't know about this and hasn't done due diligence on the charities donating money to, or has chosen to itself play along and obscure the charity's true purposes. Now, as I mentioned before, there is nowhere in this, and also the video doesn't mention anything about the religious organization involvement. And I tried doing a search around, and there's not much coming up for Change 30. I've not heard anything about them. This is the first time I've heard about them. I tried to look at see what their stances were. There's nothing out there. Now, if Change 30 is proud of its Christian organization mission, why is it hiding that fact? If Humble is happy to donate its proceeds to a Christian charity, why not be open about it? This matters because potential customers are not being given the full information. It's fine to donate to Christian charities if you know that's what you're doing, but many may feel that they rather support an orphan-focused charity that spends the money entirely on helping kids rather than on trying to make them Christians. Change 30 uses church volunteers to staff their charitable trips, focusing on teaching Christian values. It also works with local churches in doing so, i.e., the Russian Orthodox Church, and some people may rather not support, however indirectly, an institution with a such pronounced anti-LGBT record. Also, religious organizations send people to impoverished countries to preach gospels that turn them into anti-gay. I mean, you've seen this. All you got to do is go watch God Loves Uganda, and there you go. Now, it's funny because another thing that I tried to see is if I tried to find them on Charity Watch, and these guys are supposed to be the ones where they offer like charity ratings, and I tried doing a search for them. I mean, you you click on like say Charity Water, and you see the program percentage, the overhead, you get all the information, the ratings of Charity Watch. They do research on whether or not the charity is going to good causes. Now, clicking on C, I cannot see Change 30. Maybe it's just because it only covers American charities, uh, but Change 30 is not anywhere to be found. Now, what is a little weird is it looks like they have reached them before. It says here that I read a little bit about this. I think it was I read the Six Axis Puff spotted this last week and wrote about it. We also asked Humble to explain, and they have remained completely silent. Now they're saying that they submitted a number of questions to Humble Bundle uh, before this article went, and they will update us. Now, the thing that is a little worrying is that they are, and she makes a good point. I was like, why on earth would you not tell people you're proud of this? Why on earth would you not tell somebody that you're like a religious organization? I mean, you're part of it, and another big deal is you're part of like you're showing, you're there to teach the word of God as well too. You're not just there to help children, you're there to turn them into Christians. So it's not it's a not just a normal charity that helps kids. It's a charity that promotes religion as well. And apparently, Russian Orthodox is the main one. I don't know if that's the main one or the only one, but that I got to do a little more research. But obviously, the stance against homosexuality, it's a big deal. So honestly, if anything you want to do before you donate, if a part of what you're buying in Humble Bundle, make sure that you research the charity, because in this case, I think the reason why Humble Bundle didn't feature that part was because they thought that people would just not donate. Maybe they just thought the cause may matter a little more, despite, that, yeah, okay, they're getting an ideology and a religion shoved down their throat as a but you're getting all of this, but and it's not really all that bad. Maybe they were hiding it because, but I mean, why would they hide it? Why would the same charity just not allow the Humble Bundle to, or I mean, like maybe they didn't allow the Humble Bundle, but then why would they not allow them if they were just, promoting, just the goodness of this charity? I think the answer to that is because they don't want to be seen as a terrible organization. But why would they be seen as a terrible organization? They sound great, unless it's because they're anti-gay. And these are all assumptions. I hope that we get an announcement and an update. So, but in the meantime, if you want to donate, if you want to do the Humble Bundle, if you go, there is an option where you can actually um, set the amount. You can set the amount, and then you could also set the donation amount to the charity to 0. So, you get a sweet amount of games and not a lot of, you know, shadiness. If you still want those games, I mean, we went through the games very quickly, but I mean, they got you can unlock Rising Storm Game of the Year, Black Hole, IL-2 Stormovic 1942 Killing Floor for $1. Then you get Killing Floor 2, King's Bounty Platinum Edition, Homefront: The Revolution Standard with the Tripwire soundtrack pack. And then for $10 or more, you get Rising Storm 2, Call to Arms, and the Deluxe Call to Arms edition, which I'm actually kind of happy that they've added that you get the Steam ratings here as well too. And you get a bonus if you pay, $1 more. But honestly, do your due diligence before engaging with any charity, because you don't know where that money's going. There's a good possibility that your money, when you're buying your games, is going to a charity that, yes, while they are helping Russian kids, they're also getting indoctrinated to believe, bad things. So definitely keep an eye out on that. Now, to the True Gaming subreddit. I posted something here. It says the new approach for the Nintendo Direct. And this serves as a lesson that I need to do my research, because what I said was, so I caught the Nintendo Direct Mini from 1/11/2008 on YouTube. I did a reaction to my Twitch channel, and I've noticed a few things. First, I was very happy Nintendo had a steady line of releases coming out of this year, and they also added a lot of third party coming down the pipe, which shows great improvement. I just hope they keep this momentum going. I did notice this is a far simpler, straight to the point, just games, no talking heads, giving you gameplay. And while there was a teaser at the end, there mostly had gameplay and a narrator giving you information about what was new. Did you guys like this approach, or did you want the step to be there, give you more information? Do you think this is a new direction? And I asked, and I unfortunately got told Um, oh no, my logo is blocking. Hold on. Let me let me let me okay, here we go. All right. So, okay, this is a couple of responses. Mr. Ivysaur says, I just can't be hyped by any game reveal that is not from Nintendo or from a franchise that I already know. Nintendo just makes a gameplay video with no bullshit. The vast majority of other reveals are just cinematics. If it shows gameplay, I'm never sure if I actually like that or they're playing it in a cool way to make the game more interesting than it just is. Just rewatch the Watch Dogs 2 reveal. No one plays the game like that. I can get excited about the new GTA and Dark Souls though, but because I already know about the game and what to expect. But if they just make a reveal about a new IP, most of the time it's just some pointless video and I have to watch gameplay videos on the side. And that is right. That's very good points. Very good points. I would say it's actually, I think it's far better to see the gameplay, but it's not wrong either because we all saw the Watch Dogs and we all bought in, and all of a sudden, none of that was what it was supposed to be. So, um, of course, I got corrected a couple of times, which I will be adjusting this. I'll adjust my subreddit, and next time I'll just ask overall in general what they thought about it rather than new direction. So, but it says, yes, this isn't exactly anything new as it's a mini direct. It was especially only focusing on games that are going to be released in the next 3 months. So naturally, there was plenty of new gameplay to show. Don't be surprised if we get another big direct in a few weeks and more focus in later half of 2018, and as such, like more talking heads. True. True, we'll get more. We'll get more in depth, especially when E3 comes around. Yeah, you're gonna see Reggie. You're gonna see AG Onuma. Maybe we'll get more reveals that more reports are coming. I predict. I'm gonna make an early prediction. I'm gonna make this early prediction right now. If this hasn't already been declared yet, it will be. We're gonna get a Skyward Sword port for the Switch. It's gonna happen. It's I mean we've gotten ports pretty much a lot of games that are coming. We're pretty much as a guarantee that a bunch of the ports of the better games that are on the Wii U are going to be going to the Switch. I mean Bayonetta 2, we're getting Donkey Kong Country Jungle Freeze. So Skyward Sword, it's coming. And don't be surprised if Twilight Princess also gets added, and as well as the Wind Waker. This is a much more powerful console, and while I don't love the idea of repurchasing these games, giving them that fresh coat of paint and bringing them on to the next system makes sense. I mean, we got the best Zelda game that's been out for a while, according to a lot of people. So why not give us the last ones that we've had? I mean, we got two great ports of it. Probably the best they've ever looked was in the Wii U, but nobody bought the Wii U. So now I can give those games a brand new life. So Skyward Sword is one that's two generations back. So I want that game. Well, they've done the direct minis in the past. They usually focus on smaller games or ports. Often they are followed up by a direct thing. One thing, almost everything shown is coming in spring and early summer, so the full year is not mapped out yet. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely going to have to go back here and edit it. But I figured that we talk a little bit, so well. My bad. So anyway, we've got some stuff here, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. And this is I love that True Gaming Wild Hunt. Okay, so it says like, is there a way to play games with a lot of depth other than think ahead or just playing enough to know every move? Hi, I was wondering about this because I was thinking why I can't get into chess and what depth in games are. So, depth is the number of meaningful choices, and I was wondering if there is a way to choose what to do in a game in depth other than just look ahead 5 steps. Now, this one's kind of interesting in itself, and someone had actually answered the question through the perspective of chess. So I'm going to read that. It's like, but before I answer, allow me to orient myself in another direction. The thing with chess is that you do not need to deal with a lot of depth to enjoy it, unless you want to play in clubs or competitions. To never interested me. Most important is to find good partners to play with, because after all, it's an intellectual fight and you need a worthy opponent. It's even better if playing can be a way to build a relationship between two persons. I'd say this because you said that if you want to understand the game, and it's then important not only to consider the rules of the game. Uh, the rules are only there to allow some experience. The experience you want to understand. In context, the depth of chess is only an opportunity for players to improve with each game to play, and then you play and it's repeatedly turning. That said, you asked about playing 5 turns in advance, and I think it doesn't exactly relate to depth. Whether they are beginners or great masters, all players have to think ahead in chess at some point in the game. That's actually part of the fun. If you don't like planning ahead, then you're never really going to enjoy chess. So that can definitely be a good analogy about when it comes to games that have a lot of depth. And because if you get told how to play the game exactly, not plan ahead, it's basically you're just playing the game, and everybody else is going to play it exactly the same, planning out moves before doing it. Um, that's part of why some games are actually really good. Like, gives you the freedom of choice to plan things out, gives you the freedom of choice to be able to do different things on different games. Look at the Rainbow Six, allows you to plan and do the strategy thing. Or when you get horde mode from like Gears of War, you always have to like communicate with your team, like plan the caltrops and the traps and the troikas and all that stuff happens too. It adds to the fun. Games with a lot more depth, like choices of what abilities to pack, how you're going to turn your character. These are all things that you have to take under consideration. And believe me when I tell you that it just like in chess, if you don't think ahead, you're part of the reason is just to plan things out. That's a game. Those are games like with strategy. You won't enjoy games like StarCraft. You won't enjoy games like Heroes of the Storm, League, uh, Overwatch. Those games require strategy. But you were talking about depth, with games of a lot of depth, other than thinking ahead or just playing enough to know each move. I don't think there's really a wrong way for either. I mean, yeah, you're playing okay, play until you fully understand, and the game just becomes you know it by second nature. And that is a good way to get into a game. Just breaking it down, thinking ahead. That's I agree with Mr. Chessman. um, also want to share this article here that talks about uh, the the awesome games done quick, the 160-hour straight charity stream that raised millions of dollars. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, they go into details. I mean, we're talking about the organization. It's talking about the attendees. We're talking about even the tech. I mean, this is all very, very awesome. I mean, it's like the tech going all over the place. I mean, this is a production. This is a production. And very, very impressive. Ars Technica, and it kind of just breaks all of this down. And believe me when I tell you, I do want one day to do a charity live stream. I don't have nearly the not that the tech savvy is a thing I don't get. I'm pretty techy, but not I mean, obviously I could be better. But uh, the the uh, the thing about this is like it takes a lot of work. And if you want to do this at this point, I would start talking with people and try to find out about how to do this kind of event. Obviously, if you want to do a long stream, you can't do it by yourself. But I'd say get your foot wet with streaming, and you could then go from there. And if you want to do a charity live stream, find out, well, first, what charity you want to donate to, who do you want to, how are you going to do it, what games are you going to play, your time frame, how long is the stream going to be? It's going to be a full day, half a day, a couple of hours. So, but definitely uh, look into this. I definitely read this article. I'm definitely going to be leaving it on the I say I say in the actual replay notes. I'm gonna add that as all these links as well as that article as well too. When I upload this video on the YouTube to archive it, that will be there as well too. So anyway, the next neat little piece is, does anyone read articles? I'm gonna have to, when I do the segments, I'm just probably going to have to move that later. So no, sorry. So I'll just move that later in a little bit. uh, so does anyone still read game reviews? I, like everyone else here, I am an avid gamer. I'm also the owner of a game review site. Me and my team pop out articles daily about indie games development and anything in between. My question to everyone here is, do you still read game reviews? When I do not know a game and found a game that looks interesting, I usually read the review. On Steam, for example, I just scroll to the bottom of the page and check the kind negative reviews, then base the census into a portion of what I'd expect in the game. More and more, however, I've been picking up games that look interesting and forming my own opinions. Are the game reviews still viable, and do you read them? I find it weird that you who has a game review site is asking whether or not you have people read or not. I mean, you should have like a, don't can't you see the ratings from your site? That could give you a good deal. But if you're not big enough, that may not be a factor. But to tell the truth, yes, people still read them. I read them, and just like you, I go to the Steam, I look at the reviews, and most of the time, lately, I've just been trying to find games that are interesting for me, buying them, and then just getting them, and then forming my own opinion. And that's probably the best way to do it. And also, I would say YouTube. But because there are games out there that pump themselves up to be these great games, but they're not. They're really not. And what I am going to what I'm going to ask a lot of you is to keep yourselves open-minded. Keep yourselves open-minded about written reviews. And the reason is because um, there are review sites that have biased opinions. I mean, they have opinions that are charged by certain things. Some people are way into identity politics. People are in too much into things that aren't related to the gaming world. Some people are biased on games being violent and cause, and they think that these games caused harm when evidence has shown that that's not the case. And to tell you the truth, it isn't. I mean, really, I don't think that that's the case at all. I mean, you have to just find a place, and then you feel comfortable with what they're doing, and you could still like, and go with what their aspect is. The thing is that you have to remember that at the end of the day, these are people's opinions. So at the end of the day, what you are reading is the opinion of one person, and their experience matters. I want to talk this one day, want to make one of these and talk about experiences, and that game reviewers should have some capacity of playing a video game, because I know that that's a conversation that happened around the time that Cuphead either came out or was about to come out. So honestly, they're still viable. Game reviews are viable, but they are prone to favoritism. Mr. Spawner, hey, what's up? I know that our boy Nick is streaming, so I'll check out the stream in a little bit. During the interruption, after I'm done here, I'll be uh, I'll be joining the stream a little bit. I want to see what you guys are doing. If you're doing something with Nick, that is. Just talking about whether reading game reviews is still a viable thing, and I was just giving the opinion. Then yes, they are. Oh, you're watching him? What is he playing? What am I on about? Oh, this is just what I do is when I'm not playing, I'm just talking about stuff that's popping up in the True Gaming subreddit, talking about stuff that's happening around the world of gaming. So, oh yeah, he's a big fan about that of that game. I beat Dishonored 1. I don't haven't beaten Dishonored 2. It's in my collection. Probably I want to play it, but I have not played it yet. So maybe I'll play that one next. I'm still trying to figure out what game to play next. So I'm trying to see if I just do a straw poll and just put it in later. But anyway, I'm gonna go to the next one, and I think this is the penultimate one, and this is one that I found earlier today. This is the title just kind of gripped me. I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm gonna read it. But y'all, anyway, it's like, why are video game collections and boxes so uncommon compared to movies? If you want to watch a movie franchise finish or ongoing, you're almost guaranteed to be able to get your hands on a collection with features every release installment in one convenient box. I'm not saying that this happens with games, it does, and it's not even rare. Examples which I own are Mass Effect Trilogy box, Killzone Trilogy box, Metro Redux, God of War collection, Metal Gear Solid collection, the Crisis trilogy, but it is far from every franchise. The biggest franchises, those you'd be sure to see have collections, don't have any. You can buy an 8 movie Fast and the Furious collection, but no such thing for Call of Duty, The Elder Scrolls, The Witcher, and Grand Theft Auto. Why is this so uncommon? Is it because games are more expensive, because they provide more hours of entertainment individually, or something else? Hmm. I think it's because games. Hey, I'll say hi to him personally in a second. Say hi back. Awesome. I mean, I'm sure you'll add your own little dash of pepper in there, but that's cool because that's you being you. That's you being you. But anyway, it is why is it not seen as much? Well, for instance, Call of Duty has too many games to just crank and put in one CD. And I don't know if all of the games are just crass compatible to pull them all into one collection. Those games, like you said, Grand Theft Auto, they're massive. They're gigantic games. I don't know if you could put multiple Grand Theft Autos. I mean, you could. There have been times where you've seen that Liberty City stories, but honestly, I can't say for sure. I mean, I guess because they are kind of already big on their own. Like the Elder Scrolls is like Morrowind is its own big game. Oblivion is its own big game. And they want you to kind of just focus on each and every game on their own. Each game it's like its own world, and they want you to just focus on that one world in particular. With God of War, they're all just kind of in the same universe. Uh, Also, you said Crisis, that's all in the same. Metal Gear Solid, that's all in like that same universe. Those games aren't long enough to cause a lot of stress to put a whole bunch of CDs all in one pack, which would cost more to make the packs. The packs have to be bigger, the boxes have to be bigger, more CDs, file sizes have to be bigger, designing interfaces to interact with those worlds have to be bigger. It's a lot of work to make that, I think. So that's just my opinion. I mean, movies are pretty easy to just bundle them all up, and I mean they're shorter, like an hour and a half. You can compress all that stuff there. Games are a little more difficult, and I think they're two different markets. So what one market doesn't not is not going to necessarily work on the other one. On paper, it sounds interesting, but you know what? There are collections, and they're going to continue to come out with collections, definitive editions. And I think the reason is because they want to find a way to get you to buy those games over and over and over again as well too. Because you could get like all those games, and then later they come and remaster them again, and then you have like why go through all the trouble, and then you just get a remastered game later. So I think I might have touched on this the last time, but this is another one. This is going to be the last article of the day. This is the last subreddit post. It's like trailers, let's plays, review, user review. What sells a game more? And I'm going to read it the entirety. Uh, oh yeah, I agree. Spawner is absolutely right. They're remastered just mainly for cash. Give the franchise a new breath of life. A game you've not played before, remastering to do it again. And I think they see it. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is like it's more profitable for them to give you a remastered version of a game than just okay for the fans getting a very old game remastered is nice, but getting not much old games to remaster it is a waste. But not getting not that much old games to remastered is a waste. Yeah, a really good point. I mean, getting old gamers, new gamers to play those older games is very very much difficult. So they're trying to find ways to make the franchises better for a younger demographic, I guess as well too. Demographics play a role. Yeah, I'm sure that the people who were playing like old games like System Shock, like back then. I mean, we're getting a remaster, but I'm pretty sure that's tailor made for just the people who've just been like who never played them. So, and they're only doing it with really popular ones, but you won't see lower games like Descent. Descent's a really awesome game, but you'll never see it because it never got the huge popularity that a System Shock got. So, it would be a waste just remastering a game that a niche amount of people will buy because it's a lot of work that goes into it. So, but let's go to the last article. It says basically, as the title says, what is the one thing that you wouldn't skip on before finding a game? The reason I'm asking is due to the other thread about game trailers. In the comment, most people talked about watching Let's Play videos to see gameplay. which got me curious. I personally like to do a YouTube search for game name review instead of game name gameplay. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy Let's Plays, but they are flawed in some ways. Which Let's Plays you're either doing a see gameplay from the start of the game, which is a poor representation of the rest of the game. In many cases, you're going to see gameplay from the middle and end of the game, which may contain spoilers, or you're going to see highlights where the YouTuber cuts together some of the best moments from the game into single compilation. These generally paint the game in either an overly good way or highlights most of the game's flaws, generally what it's ever more funny. Let's players care more about getting themselves views than painting a fair picture of the game, which is fair enough. If you enjoy watching their videos, you might want watch more of them, which is ultimately your goal. Thus, they may leave out a lot of unentertaining parts of the gameplay unless the commentary can somehow make it entertaining. Um, oh man, spawners. Oh, spawners spawning a lot. Like take StarCraft 1 for example. The remastered was amazing, but if you do a remaster, for example, God of War 3, that would be a waste because God of War 3 isn't that old and has good graphics. This is what I meant by that comment. Oh, okay. And also it's about diminishing returns as well too, because at the time you like how could you make a game look any better than games that have been given the high graphics treatment the way that these games have? You can't remaster them all too well. I mean, I found it so funny that they made like the Skyrim remastered, and I found this like the game looks already pretty amazing. If anything, they just created the modded version of Skyrim that the modders finally like they did, and they sold it as like, yeah, gamers do like that. And in that case, yeah. I mean, they gave a new game new life, but I would not waste my time making games. If anything, port them, not just remaster them and say they're something new when they're really not. Or yeah, yeah, not all the games are ideal to be remastered. There are you have to kind of pick and choose. Not every game should be a remaster. Uh, Sorry, guys. You may want your favorite game from 20 years to get a remaster done, but it's just not going to happen. I would just say enjoy those games the way they are, and you'll still get the same kicks out of them. They don't always need a fresh new coat of paint, unless you know it. I would say something like maybe Prey. They started from the get go that like they took a concept and it's like totally different, but the concept they came up with now is incredible. So let's continue. Onto reviews. Watching a review gets you someone's honest opinion about the game. Uh, Reviews will generally cover several topics from gameplay to story to graphics, plus anything else that makes the game noteworthy. It should also do it in a way as not to spoil the story, which is something that can be not said about many Let's Plays. With reviews, you run the risk of the reviewer being paid to be very generous in his review, but the same can be said about Let's Players. Also, this only seems to be a problem with big reviewers, IGN. Luckily, there are many smaller review channels. This is also another reason I started this thread. Many times, if you search for a review, some of the most watched videos might only have a few thousand views. That is not saying they're bad. My experience is this still videos still have decent editing. Do people just like reviews anymore? Generally speaking, a video's top Let's Play will have much more views than its top review when reviews try to be more fair and sometimes while better editing. What I really want remastered is Diablo 1. See, there you go. See, there you go. Of all the things that I can think of, maybe BlizzCon announcing next that would probably be it. I mean, because StarCraft Remastered looks really good. Diablo and Diablo 2 get a new fresh coat of paint, make it look. I don't know if they'll completely remake that game to like to make it look like a Diablo 3, but it does kind of, I do like that. And it's a freaking awesome game. So, and of course, there are Steam user reviews that can be pretty reliable, but you'll see many people upvote it for joke reviews and many people downvote it due to small issues. Still pretty reliable if you don't mind reading through a bunch of them. Finally, trailers almost completely useless apart from maybe getting you a feel of the game's world and story. Okay, so what sells a game more? A trailer, the let's play, a review, or user reviews? Hmm. Okay, in my opinion, I'm gonna go by what I say. I'd say I rarely watch Let's Plays, and I think it's mainly because I want to avoid the spoilers. So Let's Play is probably the less reliable one. User reviews do give me a good handle. Of course, the solution for the joke reviews would be just to ignore them. So that's a more reliable way that you could get like, oh, game reviews, user reviews, because users are giving you uh, their their perspective of it. However, there's another thing that you have to keep in mind is that user reviews sometimes also have, if they're doing it for PC games, sometimes they don't have the same hardware. So the experiences could get muddled up pretty well. However, that could be said the same with the actual reviews that are done by big site reviewers. So there is that as well too. You have to keep that in mind as well. But those guys are also could, like you said, they could be prone to biases. They're being paid to do this. Sometimes they might have a deal with a big company to offer a positive review, or else they'll lose service. I don't know. But anyway, in my personal opinion, the best ones, I think, what sells a game more, I would say, I think it's probably the trailer because you said that they're completely useless. Well, a lot of what you get in a game to get yourself hyped for comes from that trailer. I would say I would add a new one in there. I would say not just a I mean, not a let's play, but I would say a developers run through of the game because the developers could play the game, show you how the game is. That's how I got excited for Hellblade because the developers themselves went through every single piece of the game, how the sound works, how they recorded the audio, who recorded the audio, actual scenes that they filmed, insight of the character, how they were focusing on mental illness, how they created the levels, how they created the gameplay and the fighting system and the music and everything. That to me is a better way to do it. Of course, they're prone to obviously the bias of like, yeah, we're trying to sell you a product, but at least it's coming from the people who are making it. You get to see the game in development. Obviously, I would definitely go with all of them if you'd like. But honestly, I would just try them out little by little. I personally like a trailer is the one that gets you hyped, and not all the trailers are completely useless because Divinity Original Sin 2's trailer got me hyped and it shows you a lot of information. I prefer long gameplay trailers. Um, yeah, the trailer is the most important, the most point of sales that gets you interested into the game. Everyone that got No Man's Sky were all hyped for the trailer. Everyone gets hyped for the trailers. That's why E3 is it's an event that I'm skeptical about always. The trailer's not enough. And sometimes the trailer doesn't tell you anything. I mean, look, you watch the Beyond Good and Evil 2 trailer. It doesn't say anything. It just shows you a character that's going to be in the game, but that doesn't show you anything. I mean, all it does is it's just showing you that there's going to be another game. And some of them aren't reliable like Watch Dogs, but if you look at Watch Dogs, although they lied to you about the graphics and stuff like that, there were elements in that trailer that are in the game. I would but trailers are what sell the game. They're there to generate hype, but at the same time it's excuse me, it's just like a movie. I mean, I would rather get snippets and information from the developers about what this game is like through the perspective of these trailers. I actually like it when in E3 game coverage, they go to the developers themselves and they play the game and they show them the game how it works. Obviously, sometimes it can't just be that easy, but honestly, trailers are pretty much the best sellers. If we're just talking about what sells a game more, it's the trailer. Same as movies. I mean, nothing gets you more excited than seeing what's ahead. Now, there are some times where there's those things are gone from the movie. Obviously, there are scenes that are taking out, but of course, the trailer is to get you hyped about the movie. Same as the game. Everything else is just there to supplement. It's to supplement. It's to make it easier for you to decide whether you want the game or not. And with that, uh, I'm going to end by sharing this with y'all. This is a really cool app. It's called Anchor. This is an application you could get it either on Google or app on the App Store. But basically, what I could describe it is it's kind of like a way to create your own podcast just using your phone. And the app is like right here. So yeah, so anyway, you could actually you could listen to different stations here, and then you go to my channel, and then you could upload like files and opinions. You could use your phone to record them as well here. Oh, oh. See, I got a couple of things already, but also if you see here, you could bundle them. You could pretty much just group them up little by little and create episodes and publish them as a podcast. Simply what you do is you click on the plus button down below, and then what you do here is, let me help focus. Come on, focus, focus. It's not focusing. Okay, so if you see here, there's like a button here, and then you can add music. You could add interludes as well too. I wish I could show you better. This camera is losing all the focus, but all really I'm gonna say is this: is that Anchor is just like a way to get you if you're interested in doing a podcast, then that's a way. All right, Spawner, take it easy, man. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. Oh, and I'll definitely keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. You're always awesome. I'm still happy that about beating Cuphead. Oh, by the way, Spawner, I don't know if you saw this, but I got this yesterday at Otronicon, and I'm using this as my coaster. So now I'm using this. I'm slamming a mug on top of Cuphead's head. On his face. But thank you for joining me. But anyway, if you guys are interested in just like creating your own podcast, you can add conversations by doing call-ins. You can add real music. It can help stream like the entire song. You could listen to a couple of pretty cool like stations here, and then you can turn them into your own podcast. This is a good way to get into the door. I honestly wouldn't recommend this over creating your own audio and then like editing your stuff little by little, but this is a good kind of like getting your foot into the door. The point is, if you have a voice, you have to put it out there. My only recommendation is that that they promote it, and this is what Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary V did, was that he just said you just put it on the phone and then you start recording it. Yeah, that may be a way to get your voice out there, but the quality in itself, it sounds like a phone conversation. So what I'd recommend is just use the earbuds at the very least, because that blocks the audio onto your microphone and it doesn't play all the background hiss and it sounds like a recording, unless you want to add it as a sound effect. So there is that. But with that, I'm going to end the segment here for Fico's Gaming Mind. I'm very happy that you guys that you tuned in, and thank you, Spawner, for all your awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. I'm going to be creating a straw poll, so I'm gonna put myself. I'm gonna end the stream, and then I'm going to start up another one because I'm separating these on separate recordings. So this one's gonna be its own stream. So I'm going to put this one separate, and then later down the road, I'm going to create it. In fact, I might even just play that while I'm doing that here, and I'll show you how I do it. So that's actually a pretty sweet idea. So, but I'm gonna have to do it on the next recording. So I'm gonna create the straw poll. I'm gonna see which games I have and show you guys, and then hopefully I'll get that going. In the meantime, I think what I'll do is I'm going to play some Overwatch because I still have to do my placement matches for the current season. So there is that. So I hope you guys join in if you guys like. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed today. And I'm gonna say, as I said, this is going to be the end of this recording. But don't worry, guys, because I plan on being here a couple of more hours. So you guys take it easy. Love you all to death. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following. I encourage you to tell your friends. Please share the love. This has been Fico's Gaming Mind signing out.